Look, I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there, maybe at the gym, maybe just walking to grab coffee, and suddenly your armpits decide to turn into miniature waterfalls. And you're standing there, completely bewildered, wondering why evolution thought this was a good idea. I mean, couldn't we have gotten something more dignified? Maybe a gentle cooling mist, a built-in air conditioner. Nope, we got leaky skin. Thanks, Mother Nature. Real classy move. But here's the thing, that gross, sticky, sometimes smelly liquid dripping off you right now is actually one of the most sophisticated cooling systems on the planet. And once you understand what's actually happening, you might just stop being embarrassed and start being impressed, or at least slightly less annoyed. Let's break it down. Alright, so let's start with the basics, because apparently nobody paid attention in biology class. Your body has somewhere between 2 and 4 million sweat glands. That's not a typo. Million. You're basically a walking, talking sprinkler system, and nobody even asked for your consent. These glands are distributed all over your skin, and they're controlled by your autonomic nervous system. That means you can't voluntarily control them, which is why you can't just decide to stop sweating before a job interview. Trust me, if that were possible, deodorant companies would have gone out of business centuries ago. The hypothalamus, which is basically your brain's thermostat, detects when your core temperature rises above that cozy 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When that happens, it sends signals through your sympathetic nervous system to activate those sweat glands, and boom, you're leaking. Now, here's where things get genuinely impressive, even if it still feels gross. When that sweat hits your skin, it doesn't just sit there looking ridiculous, it evaporates. And that evaporation process, it's absolutely brilliant from a physics standpoint. When water changes from liquid to gas, it needs energy to make that transition. That energy comes in the form of heat, which it pulls directly from your skin. Each gram of sweat that evaporates removes about 580 calories of heat from your body. That's not food calories, by the way. Those are actual energy, units. The point is, it's efficient. Really efficient. This is why you feel cooler after sweat evaporates, not while you're actively dripping. And it's also why humid days feel absolutely miserable. When there's already tons of moisture in the air, your sweat can't evaporate as easily, so you just end up wet and hot, which is basically nature's way of saying good luck with that. Here's something most people don't know. Not all sweat is created equal. You've got two main types of sweat glands doing completely different jobs, and they don't even coordinate with each other. Rude. First, there are eccrine glands. These are the good guys. They're spread all over your body and produce that clear, odorless sweat that's mostly water with a tiny bit of salt. These are your actual cooling units, doing the real work to keep your temperature down. Then you've got apocrine glands. These are the drama queens. They're located mainly in your armpits and groin area, and they don't really care about temperature regulation. Instead, they release a thicker, milky fluid that's rich in proteins and lipids. This sweat is technically odorless when it first comes out, but the bacteria living on your skin love to feast on it. And that bacterial buffet, that's what causes body odor. So when you're stressing about a work presentation and your armpits suddenly announce themselves, that's apocrine glands doing their thing. Thanks for nothing, guys. If you're the person who walks into a room and immediately starts questioning every life choice that led to this sweaty moment, while your friend looks completely dry and unbothered, you're not imagining things. Sweating varies wildly from person to person, and it's not just about fitness level or weight, though those do play a role. Men typically sweat more than women, which seems unfair until you realize it might actually mean their cooling systems are more efficient. Genetics plays a huge factor too. Some people are just born with more active sweat glands or a more responsive sympathetic nervous system. Then there's hyperhidrosis, a condition where people sweat excessively regardless of temperature or physical activity. About 3% of the population deals with this, and it can affect specific areas like palms, feet, or underarms, or it can be generalized across the whole body. And if you think sweating more means you're out of shape, think again. Research shows that trained athletes actually start sweating sooner and more heavily than non-athletes. Their bodies have become so efficient at thermoregulation that they activate cooling systems faster. So maybe that soaking shirt is actually a badge of honor. Let's address the wellness industry claims, because they've been working overtime trying to convince you that sweating is some kind of magical detox ritual. Here's the truth, and you might want to sit down for this. Sweating does not detox your body. Your liver and kidneys handle toxin removal, and they're really good at it. Sweat is about 99% water, with tiny amounts of salt, proteins, and urea. You're not purging heavy metals or evil spirits through your pores. Sorry to disappoint. That said, sweating does have legitimate health benefits. It regulates your body temperature, which is kind of essential for not dying when it's hot outside. It helps maintain proper electrolyte balance, assuming you're replenishing what you lose. And the increased blood flow to your skin during sweating can actually improve skin health by delivering oxygen and nutrients. Plus, there's something psychologically satisfying about a good sweat session, even if the physical benefits aren't as mystical as some people claim. Just remember to drink water, because all that fluid loss needs to be replaced. Time for some rapid-fire facts that'll make you the most annoying person at parties, or at least the most informed. Your feet can produce up to half a pint of sweat per day. That's right, your socks are basically swimming pools for bacteria. Speaking of which, the smell of your sweat can actually change based on what you eat. Garlic, onions, and spicy foods can make your sweat more pungent, while vegetarians tend to have less intense body odor overall. Stress sweat smells worse than exercise sweat because apocrine glands release that protein-rich fluid that bacteria love to munch on. And here's something weird. You can sweat even when you're cold. It's called cold sweats, and it usually happens during low blood sugar, anxiety, or when your body is fighting an infection. Also, horses can't sweat the same way humans do, which is why they need to be hosed down after intense exercise. We're actually one of the few mammals that uses whole body sweating as our primary cooling mechanism. Evolution really went in on this feature for us. So there you have it. Your body's leaky situation is actually a marvel of biological engineering, even if it doesn't always feel like it. The next time you're drenched after a workout or nervously sweating before a big meeting, just remember you're not a mess. You're a highly efficient thermoregulation machine. A wet one, but efficient nonetheless. If you found this explanation helpful and want more science content that actually makes sense without putting you to sleep, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm here every week breaking down the weird, wonderful, and occasionally gross things your body does. This is Think, where we explain the world one awkward biological fact at a time. Stay curious, stay cool, and maybe keep a towel handy.